What would you do if you found yourself caught in a whirlwind of loyalty, betrayal, and heart-stopping adventure? A world where every roar carries the weight of destiny. Welcome to the epic realm of Mufasa, the Lion King, where ancient legacies clash with shocking twists at every turn. As the story unfolds, you'll be swept into daring journeys and unexpected alliances. Meanwhile, familiar characters face peril and the ultimate test of courage. Will our hero rise above treachery? The movie begins with Simba announcing that he and Nala are expecting another baby. While Nala waits in a safe place to give birth, Simba heads to Pride Rock with Timon and Pumbaa to see his daughter, Kiara. He asks his friends to babysit her, assuring them they are the only ones he trusts. At Pride Rock, Kiara is scared of an approaching storm, but Simba comforts her before leaving to meet Nala. He warns Timon and Pumbaa not to tell wild stories, but as soon as he leaves, they claim they were the ones who defeated Scar. When Kiara says her father did, they insist Simba lied. A thunderstorm startles them, and they hide behind a rock. To cheer Kiara up, Pumbaa suggests singing, but they start arguing. Just then, Rafiki arrives, and Kiara happily greets him, saying she misses her parents. Rafiki shows her the Tree of Life, and explains that Simba and Nala will return with a special gift to continue the circle of life. He also shares that young Simba was once scared like her. His father, Mufasa, had told him to look at the sky and howl to the wind. Over time, Simba learned to roar like a king and became brave. Kiara, however, doubts she can be as brave as her father. Rafiki tells Kiara a story about a young cub like her. Long ago, a drought hit the wilderness, lasting 20 days without rain. The scene shifts to young Mufasa, living with his parents in the savannah. They tell him about a faraway land called Mela, and his mother asks him to imagine a beautiful place full of greenery and water. Excited, Mufasa closes his eyes and pictures a magical land. Soon, Mufasa and his parents begin their journey to Mela. When they stop by a river, Mufasa experiences his first rain. Overjoyed, he jumps into the water and plays with other animals. However, the rain causes a flood. Mufasa's father jumps in to save him, but struggles. After some effort, he pushes Mufasa onto a rock and tells him to go to his mother. Mufasa hesitates, but as he prepares to jump, a huge wave pulls him underwater. He manages to grab onto a floating piece of wood and keeps his head above water, realizing he is lost. Suddenly, another cub appears, introducing himself as Taka. He asks Mufasa's name and then reveals a shocking secret. Mufasa is about to be eaten. Mufasa sees crocodiles behind him and rushes to shore. Taka grabs his paws to help, but before he can, his mother, Eshe, arrives. She roars, scaring the crocodiles away, allowing Taka to pull Mufasa out. Eshe scolds Taka for wandering off, but he explains he only moved because he saw Mufasa in the river. Eshe tells Taka it is time to leave. When he asks if they can take Mufasa with them, she reminds him that his father, Obasi, does not like strangers. Mufasa quickly says he is not a stray, just lost. Eshe, realizing she cannot leave him behind, agrees to take him home. Obasi is unhappy and orders Eshe to get rid of Mufasa. When she refuses, Obasi asks Mufasa his name. Hearing it, he tells Mufasa that his name means king, but says he is no king. To prove it, he arranges a race between Mufasa and Taka. He tells his wife, Eshe, that being king is Taka's birthright, but Eshe insists he must earn it. The cubs race excitedly. Mufasa almost gives up due to his fear of water, but with Taka's help, he crosses the river and wins. Disappointed, but accepting the result, Obasi lets Mufasa stay, though only with the females. Over the years, Mufasa and Taka grow even closer. One day, Taka asks his father if he can join Mufasa and the females on their hunt, but Obasi refuses, saying that a king's job is to protect the females. Taka does not like the idea of resting all day, but he does not argue with his father. Nearby, he sees Aisha and Mufasa getting ready for the hunt. Meanwhile, Aisha tells Mufasa that his parents are still out there, waiting for him, but Mufasa does not want to believe he has a home anymore. He says he likes being an outsider because he has no responsibilities, unlike Taka. Without knowing it, Taka hears their conversation and realizes that things are starting to change for him. Later, while hunting, Mufasa and Eshe sense danger. They prepare to fight, but to their surprise, they are attacked by large white lions, the outsiders. Eshe tells Mufasa to run, but he refuses and fights beside her. At the same time, Taka watches everything, but is too scared to help his mother. Instead, he runs back to his father. When Eshe and Mufasa return, Obasi thanks Mufasa for saving her life. Mufasa warns them that the lions will return and they must be ready to fight, but Obasi does not believe him. That night, Obasi tells Taka to hide the fact that he was too scared to help his mother. He says that since Taka is the future king, they must protect their bloodline. Meanwhile, the white lion who attacked Mufasa and Eshe returns without success. When their leader, Kiros, sees this, he orders the other lions to kill him. Meanwhile, Obasi and Eshe decide to send Taka away so he can continue their family line. They also send Mufasa with him, reminding him to protect Taka no matter what. Even though Mufasa does not want to leave Eshe, she assures him that he will find his family. She tells him to go to Mela, the magical land his mother once told him about. With that, Mufasa and Taka begin their journey, not knowing that the outsiders have already attacked Eshe and Obasi. Not long after they start their journey, Mufasa senses the white lions chasing them. He tells Taka they must run to safety. As they run, they soon realize they have reached the edge of a cliff. With no other choice, they must jump into the river below. Taka begs Mufasa to overcome his fear. When the white lions get closer, Mufasa finally jumps along with Taka. To his surprise, they float to the surface instead of drowning. But their relief does not last long, because one of the white lions jumps into the river after them. They quickly hold on to each other and let the river's current carry them away. Eventually, they lose the lion chasing them and make it to the shore. By nightfall, Mufasa and Taka slowly continue their journey to Mela. Suddenly, Mufasa senses another lion nearby and thinks it might be the outsiders again. He stays alert and demands that the lion show itself. To their surprise, it is a female lion who was also attacked by the outsiders. She introduces herself as Sarabi. When Taka invites her to join them, Sarabi tells them that Mela is just a myth, but Taka reminds her that she is alone and needs their protection. Just then, her friend, a bird named Zazu, flies down and says he will take care of Sarabi. As Sarabi thinks about her options, she asks Mufasa how they plan to find food since she is hungry. He assures her that they will hunt. Above them, in a tree full of baboons, a young Rafiki is being rejected by the others because of his mystical visions. The baboons decide to exile him, and he sadly climbs down from the tree. That is when he comes across Mufasa and his friends, who mistake him for prey and try to hunt him. Thinking fast, Rafiki saves himself by telling them that he can guide them to Mela if they let him live. Mufasa believes him and allows Rafiki to join their journey. That night, while everyone is asleep, Mufasa has a dream about his mother. She tells him that she is waiting for him in Mela. The next morning, they continue their journey and reach a canyon. When Mufasa says they need to go through it, the others try to argue, but he convinces them when he teaches Sarabi how to track movement from far away. When she notices the white lions following them, she agrees to go through the canyon, as Mufasa suggested. As they walk, Taka asks Mufasa to help him impress Sarabi, saying she is his future mate. Mufasa tells him to talk to her about the flowers he can smell on her fur. When Taka tells Sarabi she smells like flowers, she is surprised that he noticed. After they cross the canyon, they see a herd of elephants moving in the same direction. Mufasa insists on asking them about Mela. Meanwhile, Sarabi smells the white lions getting closer. To buy time, she grabs a beehive from a tree and throws it on the ground. This causes the elephants to panic and start a stampede. As Mufasa tries to escape, he sees a white lion behind him. Before it can attack, it gets crushed by the running elephants. At the same time, Sarabi, who was hanging onto a tree, falls into the middle of the stampede. An elephant kicks her, knocking her unconscious. Desperate to save her, Mufasa jumps into the stampede and drags her to safety. Taka watches as Mufasa helps her. When Sarabi wakes up, she asks Rafiki who saved her, but before he can answer, Mufasa interrupts and says that it was Taka. For the next few days, the group continues their journey until they reach a snowy mountain. To make sure they do not leave any tracks, Mufasa asks Zazu to use his wings to cover their footprints with snow. Zazu does as told, and the white lions lose their trail and turn away. Later that day, Sarabi realizes that Mufasa was the one who saved her. She confronts him and says she has noticed how strong and caring he is. She also says that Taka's true destiny was to protect him, and that Mufasa is the real king. Taka, feeling sad, watches as they grow closer. Then, he silently turns away and walks to the edge of the snowy cliff. Taka falls down the mountain and meets the white lions, deciding to help them defeat Mufasa. The next morning, he lies to his friends, saying he failed to catch food while hunting. They continue their journey, unaware of his betrayal. After days of traveling, they finally see that Mela is real, a lush, green land. They reach the Tree of Life, where Rafiki had seen Mufasa in his visions. Rafiki reveals that he dreamed of Mufasa ruling beside him. Before they can celebrate, animals warn that Mufasa has brought danger. Mufasa insists they covered their tracks, but the white lions appear and expose Taka's betrayal. Though hurt, Mufasa refuses to back down and prepares to fight Kiros, the white lions' leader. Sarabi convinces the animals to join the fight, and with Mufasa's help, they stand together. As the battle begins, every animal fights, while Mufasa faces Kiros. Kiros knocks Mufasa into a canyon, corners him, and gains the upper hand. Watching Mufasa struggle, Taka feels guilty for betraying him. When Kiros jumps to attack, Taka intervenes but gets injured, leaving a scar on his eye. Mufasa regains his strength and fights back. Both he and Kiros fall into the ocean, where they continue their battle underwater. Rafiki causes a cave-in, trapping Kiros, who gets crushed by falling rocks. As Mufasa swims up, Taka hesitates, but eventually pulls him out. With the battle over, Mufasa reunites with the animals. His mother tells him that his father died in the flood. Though saddened, Mufasa realizes he is now king, having saved Mela. When Taka apologizes, Mufasa is forced to exile him, leaving him filled with anger. At the movie's end, we see that Rafiki takes Kiara outside, where she joyfully reunites with Simba, Nala, and her new baby brother. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.